Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am Troi Rawlings,
And I'm Zoe Troi Rawlings, your host, and this is my dad, your co-host.
and this is
Tot Topics.
Tot Topics. It's been a long time.
Yes.
Forgive us for being away so long. Okay. But I started Tot Topics with Zoe. Man, it's been 2 years ago now
Since we had the radio station.
since we had the radio station, and it was 2018. And I get a little drink.
Drink break.
Drink break. And we were doing a podcast radio show, but now since I'm doing streaming with the Meet the Show and some other streaming on LA Radio Now, I wanted to, Zoe, we talked about doing it, and what better time is there than now? This happens to be the summer of 2020, and we're dealing with COVID and coronavirus and uprising, and this is the family. You can bring the family in for this one. You see my daughter, you know you can bring the family in for this one. So this is where we want to talk to and figure out what's going on with our children. How are they feeling? So today's Tot Topics, as usual, I'll be interviewing the Zoe
The Zoe.
and getting her opinions on some different things and that have been going on. And very casual conversation. This is unscripted. You don't have to worry about her using any harsh language because she's a child. But let's get right into it. March 2020. I'm sorry. 2020 this year. We were coming up on Friday the 13th, Friday the 13th, and you were going to have a play. And we had just moved to the Long Beach area out of Burbank, and everything was just a little hectic.
Wackadoo.
Yeah, wackadoo, but it was like, you know what, let's take a day off, let's chill, and then you go to school on Friday, you prep for your play.
Mm-hmm.
No big deal. No, seemed normal. As many of you know, news was all over the place. March 11th, 2020, March 12th, and it just seemed like a lot of things were shutting down. By March 12th, it seemed like they were shutting down all extracurricular activities. And I mentioned to Zoe, I said, Zoe, I don't think they're going to have your play on Friday. And how did you feel about that?
At the same time, I felt excited, and I also felt very disappointed because we went every single day to work and we did the same thing, and it was kind of like hard work, really hard work, and we wanted to take a break. And two, I felt disappointed because we did all this work, and after that happened, we didn't get to do the play. And I haven't been in a lot of plays this school year. I mean, in TK, yeah, I guess so, but not in a lot of plays. So, yeah.
Yeah, so you were disappointed, but you said you were excited as well. What made you excited?
The part that made me excited was that we could take a break.
Right. Well, when you do the play, that's how productions are. Once you actually do the production, usually the production is easier. It's more jitters, but it's easier than the play. It's like when you play sports, if you're doing basketball or football, the practices are way harder. Baseball, any sport, the practices are way harder than the actual game, so that you're prepared for the game. So what I love about the plays and stuff you do is that you guys are amazingly prepared. Shout out to everybody at Zoe's school who helped put together the plays and all that wonderful stuff. And all right, so this comes forth. So you're out of school, and well, let's talk about that. How did you feel? Because we started doing some homeschooling. It happened right around spring break. So we had a little break and then we went into homeschooling. How did you feel about the homeschooling?
The homeschooling part, my mom was really stressed out. And there's a lot going on with coronavirus. And the few of the stuff they kept making these different websites that some of them didn't work. And they didn't tell us.
You're talking about the school stuff as far as finding out how the
kept,
functionality of it.
They kept making all these stuff and all these kinds of stuff, and some of them didn't even work, like Benchmark. I don't know what that website is, and they just bring it up. So I couldn't really tell what could work and what not work. And also they're talking about, some of them were talking about the same things, and some of them, you had to finish all of them by Sunday or by Friday, like you usually do for your homework. But homework on paper is actually usually a short amount of time because we just have words to do. But on the computer, they had all these stuff, and they had to FaceTime, do Zoom calls.
When you say stuff, what do you? Oh, FaceTime, Zoom call. Well,
Yeah.
it was just you weren't used to it. It was something different. Because when I finally started going into Benchmark and some of the other websites for the distance learning at home, I understood. Yeah, it was tough. But shout out to the teachers. We had to take a shout out and a timeout. Teachers, you are phenomenal. Anytime we think that we can do it or we can homeschool, those who have been homeschooling, you guys got it down packed. I have some friends that have been homeschooling for years, and you have it down packed. It wasn't easy. It was not easy because in our minds we think, and this is second grade.
Yeah.
So
I'm about to go in third grade though.
She's about to be a third grader. Slow down. No. So this was second grade work, and we put out a hit. But I think also the teachers have such a flow with the students so that it's not continual work for an hour. And I'm one of those parents, we sit down and we start something, well, let's finish it. And an hour goes past, and Zoe's like scratching her head, stuff like that, because they work in increments of like 10, 15, 20 minutes, and they switch it up in a class. You teachers are phenomenal. We need you. We love you.
And my teacher, Miss Edwards.
Miss Edwards. Shout out to Miss Edwards.
Very new.
Very, very good stuff. So one thing, it made me be a lot more appreciative of teachers and the work that you guys do. And I had one child, one Zoe. And Zoe's pretty awesome, but she can get on my nerves too. One. They usually have 25 or 30 in an average size class.
Okay.
No, they usually have 25 or 30 in an average size class. That's what kids have. Teachers have. So shout out to teachers. I have to give you some love on that. So the distance learning, that was one part. But how did you feel? Because this is a place where, as adults, we don't really know. We didn't really know what's happening and what's going on with. We don't have all the information this time. Sometimes as adults, as parents, well, I'll let you know now. As adults and parents, we don't know everything. This is a work in progress for us too. So us seeing that something's coming like coronavirus and COVID, and something's here that we don't know everything about, the doctors don't know everything about, the worry that we go through, we try not to put it on the children. But you're on the phone, you're watching TV. How did you feel about the stuff you were seeing?
The stuff I was seeing was very, very harsh and very noticeable. So even if I watch the phone and a video pops up of people giving COVID-19, that alerts me that, oh, this is actually real life. It's not all about playing games and stuff. You actually have to look and see what's happening to find ways to help. And when I saw that, I got very scared because they keep trying to help COVID-19 and everything they're doing, but they don't explain it to the kids. So the kids are saying, what's this? And then 1 minute later, they get the virus and they touch somebody, and then it leads on.
Yeah, it's the contagious factor, all the stuff that's going on. Could we have done a better job of? I mean, we're still learning. We're still learning. So it's summer of 2020.
It never ends.
We're still learning about coronavirus and COVID-19. Do you feel like, how are we doing as far as explaining things to you or letting you know?
Well, this is one comment for the parents out there. I think that it would make more sense if this happened and you will tell your kid to get off the phone or whatever they are and watch the news. So then when they get prepared and they actually see it, and then you can talk face to face with your kid like me and my dad are doing, and actually explain it to them and just have a conversation with them. Some parents don't even care and they just let them be on the phone, but that's not okay.
And when you say on the phone, you mean on the phone just like playing games or
Yeah,
doing whatever?
watching TV.
Yeah, watching TV. And it's hard because we don't want to, at the same time, where we definitely don't want you on the phone all the time. You need to be reading some books, writing something, create something. After a while, if I'm on the phone, I have to judge it by my time. I'm working on the phone. I look up and Zoe's playing a game on the phone. I was like, all right, we got to break up this monotony. Let's go for a walk. Let's do something. Break up the monotony. So you're saying that, and not always, mind you, not always watching the news. Let me interject here. We're not. I try not to watch too much of the news, but if you have a smart TV, if you have YouTube, if you have a phone, you're going to get the news. But sitting down watching something more scientific level that explains the facts about it, than explaining to your children what we know, versus them getting secondhand information and from their friends, or I could imagine what they would be saying to each other if you guys were still in school. It's like, oh, they probably playing the game. You know, we was running around like the boogeyman. They're like, coronavirus, man. You know, whatever. You know, people running around like they, they get crazy sometimes. Kids get crazy. Kids be crazy.
But
No.
I do agree with you when you said you don't always want to watch the news. I mean, you have to stay alert of stuff that are happening in real life.
Right.
But you don't want to get all hectic and all spiral, and you don't want to get very panicked.
Panicked, right.
Because if you just run away out of the house, you're not doing anything. Some people said that if you put on bandanas, the sickness goes through. But the same thing does for every other mask.
Yeah,
We're still trying to figure that out. But also, I think that this COVID-19 was made to bring us together, not throw us apart. My mom used to be working on road job. She keep working on Empire. I love you, Mom. And she didn't get to see me a lot because she was in Chicago. But now she got a job. Well, she was doing her job, but she's also working at home. So we get time to spend together. And yeah, so I think that this COVID-19 stuff wasn't here because they wanted people to just go spiral. It came here for a chance for us to take a break from what we're doing and continue on with their life. Some people didn't even get to finish what they're doing because of this coronavirus. They didn't get to do, science, but they can be a science teacher. There's different things that we don't know in life that can come each time. So yeah, that's what I think.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense. It is something that I saw a meme on the phone, or a piece that was like, that had people, it showed people before coronavirus, and they're looking at the phones and they're all in the house, they're on computers. And then after coronavirus, once people realized they were quarantined and they started getting claustrophobic of being in the house, you see families going outside, riding a bike. I mean, Zoe learn how to ride her bike
without training wheels.
During the coronavirus, during this whole quarantine time, in a beautiful neighborhood we're in, and we, and thank God we're usually in a beautiful neighborhood where you have areas where you can ride openly, but the quality of time, taking walks and doing stuff that, and for us as parents, isn't it? We're no better than the kids. We get on the phone and we're doing something, or we're doing work from the phone, and we get into, you know how it is. You say you're going to go outside at 2 or 3. Next time you look up, it's 4. Next time you look up, you're trying to hurry up and get them dinner. And next time it's like, well, it's getting dark, so it's too late. So I totally agree. It has
got a little.
In my opinion, let us really focus in on what's really important.
And it's weird to hear from a kid because you don't know what they're thinking in their mind. Like when they say, oh, I don't know, Zoe, go clean up your room, and they're watching the phone. And then you say, Zoe, go flush the toilet, and they're watching the phone. So it's kind of funny to hear a kid speaking what they're thinking instead of hearing a parent saying stuff that a kid knows they're saying.
Right,
Like
right.
my dad says, the two things my dad says, the phone is Boob Tube, like YouTube, but boobs.
No,
And
not like boobs. It's boob like it makes you.
this sounds weird.
It makes you it's stupid. Back in the day, you used to say boob tube, like it makes you a boob, like stupid or dumb. Not boob tube. It's not. No, it's not boobs. Is that what you're saying? Boobs? Boob tube. Stupid.
Oh my gosh.
You thought I was saying boobs like boobies? Is that what you thought? Oh,
Oh.
it'll be on a blooper reel.
Oh
But
my
boob, like
gosh.
stupid. Like if you watch TV too long, it'll make
I
you.
get it. Don't say
Okay.
that word. And he also said that the phone or the TV zaps your brain. Because a couple of days ago, I had this reading chart where each time I read a book, I do a report on it, then I fill in the box. And each time I would get a surprise. Long story short, it's in storage. We're in Long Beach. And the phone didn't really help me. Because if I'm on my iPad and doing learning things and math and multiplication, yes, I know multiplication, people. Yes, I do. And stuff like that. It helps me, and it also gives me strength, so when I actually do the problem, I know what it is.
Right.
Otherwise, teachers, I'm glad you taught us. Taught us, I should say, taught. And yeah.
Yeah. So before we get out of here, we don't want this to be too long. This is episode 2. It took 2 years to do episode 2, so we're going to try to do it weekly. But I wanted to make sure that we have something that's going out with all the content that I'm putting out and creating. I want to make sure we have something for families and children. So if you see Tot Topics with Zoe Troi Rawlings, you know this is something good for the family. And rated G or PG because of the whole Boob Tube comment. This might be PG-10
Oh my
now.
gosh.
I'm sorry. So what else would you like to say? Just about everything, how you feel at this time, and if you'd like to encourage anybody, what would you like to say to the folks out there watching?
That's it, I'm out. Just kidding. I like to say that maybe you can experience that this things that are happening, you can maybe say that it's weird that you're staying home, and it's not for you to be looking at the phone doing more work. I know that you parents have to do work like you, but you also have to spend time with your kid, because kids don't know what you're saying. They don't know what you're doing. They're just being kids. They watch TV, they eat candy, whatever they do. But you have to actually lead them into a place where they can visualize what's happening so they can understand more.
Right. No, that's good. That's good. So how can I do that better? How can I be more involved, like through the course of the day? How can I be better at that?
You can be better by actually, instead of not watching the news all the time, I can watch some of it. And then during that, you can also maybe, we can maybe take walks more.
Okay.
Because
I try to get 2 in a day, but we haven't been doing it.
No. And yeah, so that's what I think you need to do more. I'm not saying you're a bad dad or anything. I mean, you're trying your best.
Since we're recording this, so thank you. Appreciate that.
But I know that it's been hard a few days or months, and we've been usually inside doing nothing. But
we don't do nothing.
Well,
we go out.
Yeah,
And
but,
I definitely try to get some fresh air. Yeah. I'm big on it.
But still,
parents, kids, get some fresh air. Some people have yards where you can play in your yard, but definitely go for walks. Even if you have to wear a mask, go for a walk. Yeah.
It's a pretty cool yard. But I think that you need to continue being the best parent you can, but also telling me that I have to be more aware what's happening than pretend that I'm in this little corner where I have technology and food and I'm not actually thanking the people or actually realizing that the time we're in, we're actually making history.
Yeah, yeah. This is a historic time, and uh, very much so. I'll make sure that I stay on point with those things as far as keeping you informed at the level she is. She's 8, so be 9 soon. Time flies.
Birthday!
It's November. You got a little while. You got a little bit. Got a little, take your time. No, but no, I appreciate that, and I hope you guys at home got something from this little talk we had. We went a little over. I'd like to keep them between 15 and 20 minutes, but we could sit here and talk for hours. Sometimes we do it. But take heed. Parents who haven't just sat down with your young, and I'm talking about elementary school kids. If their kids are teenagers, you should really be talking to them. But Zoe's in elementary school. She's about to go to 3rd grade. I don't know who she's winking at. But
Ready. You kids.
but they're little people. So a lot of times I will pull her aside and say, "So sit down. What's on your mind?" I'd probably say it too much to her, like, "What's on your mind? How you feel? What you thinking?" I told her, she's like, Dad. But sometimes we get conversations like this, so it'll blow your mind, the little person that God has blessed you with, if you just take a minute and talk to them and hear a little bit about Tot Topics.
Thank you guys for watching, and we hope you enjoyed, and you also experience what a kid thinks sometimes. And even right now in this pandemic, we still have a lot to go through, and we don't know what the next journey is going to be. So, thank you guys for watching Top Topics.
Tot Topics.
Do you have anything else to say?
Nothing. Your host, Zoe Troi Rawlings.
And your co-host, my dad.
Thank you guys so much. Love y'all. Talk to you soon.
Bye.